Okay, my name is Bossa Ironsi, and I'm the Executive Director and founder of Women's Rights and Health Project, a non-governmental organization that is community-based, community-centered, with the vision of being a foremost organization that fights for the rights of women, young girls, and communities. Yeah, that's a very good question. There are several ways we can stop the chances of domestic violence. One of them is to create awareness about domestic violence, because we are still living in a culture where people don't even understand that, for example, a verbal abuse is a violence against them. And other ways is to also to try as much as possible to create awareness about where people can get justice. If people know that if they are abused in any form, they can seek help and where to get that help, I think with time people will understand that, oh, you know, if they can get help, they will be able to seek justice. Then another form is to also, I'm happy that Lagos State have the domestic violence law and some other laws that protect the rights of women and children. I think that the people need to know more about that law. We need a lot of advocacy and create a synergy between the community people and the law, so that the people can help themselves. Then we need to also, there are a lot of things that happen within the home that people think is just a domestic issue, so it must not come to the limelight. So we need to break that silence, letting people know that what happened to them at the domestic level is a political issue. So I think those are ways. We encourage people to report cases of violence. They should seek for justice. They should make sure that they follow it to the logical conclusion. It is not just enough to say, you know, I'm being abused and all that, and you don't want to. And then there's this culture of silence. People believe that if you go to the police station to report anybody that abuses you, that means you have killed a relationship. No. It's actually to make sure that there is some kind of decency in the community. For example, in the home, you cannot raise children in a conflict home, a home where there's much conflict. You are actually raising a generation of children who are going to be, you know, violent in nature. So these are factors, you know, I think that we can create awareness within the community, within families, and also try as much as possible to educate our male children. Let parents raise their children, the male children, to understand violence is not power. Well, in some years, there are a lot of stories to share. Some years ago, when we wanted to come into this group, we realized that some people go to the health workers for treatment when there's an abuse, either rape or battering or whatever. They always believe that medically it's what you can, you know. So we decided that let's start with the health workers. And so we brought them to teach them about issues about human rights. Do you think that it's just enough to seek these people medically? And you discover they said, yes. Some of them felt, do women have rights really? People shouldn't go and be settling their cases in the court. So, but over years, we were able to bring it to them that, yes, it's not just enough to treat people medically, but they need to also seek for justice if they want to. You should respect that choice of wanting to say, this is what I want to do. Not you imposing it on them to say, go and see that it's not something to do. So we're able to do that. And then subsequently, we're able to also take the Lagos State domestic violence, domestic law, and simplify it in a very low language that an average community will be able to interact with. And that's where another way, our entry point. And to date, we have produced 50,000 copies of that domestic violence, simplified copy of that law. And we have, interacted it with the community people, that we have in our network about 3,460 men who are daily reporting cases to the police and all that. Then we did another thing. What else we did was to make sure that we train the police as well, because we believe that a coordinated approach of responding to issues of justice, it's very important if we are going to make a headway. So we did that. Now, my center, it's busy 24/7. As at this morning, I have received about 4 cases of one form of violence and the other. And we are doing mediation, we are doing referral, we are interacting with a lot of key stakeholders in the community. I think we have been able to make our name. The RAP as an organization have been able to make a name for herself, that we are working on issues of gender-based violence. Yeah, for the abusers, they should mend their ways, they should change their ways. Lagos State and the global world is coming for them if they don't change their ways. They should be able to manage their anger. They should be able to understand that the law is not a respecter of anybody. If you rape, you are going in for it. If you abuse your spouses or your children, the law will catch up with you. Then for the survivors, as we call them, they shouldn't let go. They shouldn't give up. They should speak out. Because one of the critical reasons why most people are still in a battered relationship, they believe that they don't have where to go. There are opportunities for them to seek justice, to seek for help. They should come out and speak up. When you speak up, you will get help. People will be able to help you to seek justice. And it's not only just to speak up, they should also know that they should move on in life. Sometimes it's not only when you are beaten. It could be a verbal abuse, it could be emotional abuse, it could be economical abuse. It could be that your child is being battered because you are in a relationship. Don't keep quiet. There are opportunities in Lagos State. We thank God for Lagos State, where we have all those structures in place that can help to mitigate these issues of violence against persons.